What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel and the Morning Chat. Now, it's New Comic Wednesday, so today I'm going to change things up a little bit, and I'm going to be talking about some comic books and things coming up today, and not so much about movies. And I'm sure that's okay. Like I said, I'm not sure if you guys have caught my show the other day, but I was talking a little bit more about some of these kinds of things. I'm going to be changing up a little bit here on the channel. Nothing major. I'm still going to be here for you guys for the most part here during these mornings here on the weekdays. Again, thank you all so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. In case you don't already know, my name is Trinity, and I run the channel here at the Second Street Marvel. Of course, yesterday we did have a guest here on the show, Myrtle, who brought you his review of Joker, and then I went ahead and stepped in and talked a little bit more about it. But thank you guys so much for the overwhelming response to Myrtle and what he decided to do. Young Ripper 59, thank you so much for being here. Tommy, good morning to you as well. Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, it's New Comic Book Wednesday, and I'm going to start taking Wednesdays to talk a little bit more about comic books and things like that. As I just dropped my House of X, or my Powers of X, or Powers of 10, whichever you choose for it to be, review just this morning. So I went ahead and did that. I got my comic books here, and I'm going to basically I'm going to be centering Wednesdays more around being around comic books here on Wednesday. Young Rip says, doing swell, can't complain at all. Awesome, man, awesome. And Ripper, we need to get you here on the show soon. I need to get together, so we can talk about some comic books and things. That'll be, I don't know, I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll probably be a lot longer than I plan on it being, because I'm sure we'll get into some great conversations. But yeah, guys. The one thing I wanted to let you know, I did drop my review of Powers of 10 just this morning already. And another thing I want to let you guys know, I'm getting ready to come up on my year here on YouTube here at the end of November, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway for at that 1 year mark, and I'll probably end up doing a live stream, just making a big deal about it. But I'm sitting just at about 550 subscribers, somewhere right around there right now. But I want to know, can we make a push to 700 by the time we get about another month and a half in? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we definitely need to do that. And yeah, man, you've been pumping out some videos a lot here lately. I know you've been pretty busy over there, Young Ripper. I know, just everything. I'm sure you're very busy in the first place. So yeah, hopefully one of these days we can get that lined up, and I'm sure it'll probably just kind of be a spur of the moment kind of thing to do that, because like I said, I know you're busy. I know I'm busy as well. But yeah, we definitely need to get together soon. And but yeah, on my 1 year, I want to do probably a live stream. Bring different people on. I'm going to do a giveaway on my 1 year live stream as well that I want to do for this book right here, and that's Neon Future. This actually just released on trade paperback, and this has actually been my favorite comic book, my favorite indie title since I started reading comic books again. And I'm going to do a giveaway of this book. The only thing you have to do to get entered into that giveaway is be subscribed and make sure that you live in the United States so we can get this thing all shipped out and everything. But this book has been one of my favorites, Neon Future. The trade paperback, it's absolutely beautiful, and you can see it's pretty nice and thick there. Beautiful book, beautiful art in this book as well. And this is only the first 6 issues. And this the series is getting ready to pick back up again here at the beginning of next year, where they are getting ready to release another 6 issues. And I know they only have 18 planned so far, but I want to see if we can help push and get them to to more than that. Hopefully I can help them push this book even more. So maybe we can get to 100 issues. I would definitely like to see that. Let's see, Young Ripper says, trying to get 60 videos this month. We can for sure still link up. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, even if just here on the weekends or something, for an hour or something, just let me know when is a good time. I know this Sunday I'm going to see if I can get a few people on here to talk about like the House of X and Powers of X series. Get a couple of us comic book readers out there to get together and talk about that. Bake the Snake, what's up, man? Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, 60 videos a month, man, that's a lot. That is definitely a lot. I know, even with my live streaming that I've been doing, and that still only amounts to one a day, and then just trying to double up on that, it can be a lot, man. And I know, I mean, you know as well as I do, it takes a lot going into that, especially when you're trying to put together nice, well-produced videos. It definitely takes a lot more time. And again, yeah, we'll link up soon, man. We'll link up. I know for me, it's like I said, a busy, crazy and busy schedule as well as you. And I know there's time constraints. I know you're probably in the central time zone while I'm out here on the west coast, and 2 hours doesn't seem like very much, but it can make a huge difference in trying to set something up. And I know I see you up a lot even in the evenings, like late at night, and we can even set it up and do it then. I know there's a lot of people out there that are certainly still hanging around on YouTube late at night. But yeah, for to get entered into the giveaway that I will be doing at 1 year for this book, which has been my absolute favorite book, I am going to do that. All you got to do is be subscribed and leave comments in any of my videos until we get to 1 year, and that's going to be on November 29th is when I'll be doing that giveaway for this. Again, this book, in case you guys don't know what Neon Future is, now the one thing I want to say about this book in this series is you guys can see right there. It's this book is actually being published by Impact Theory. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know who Impact Theory is, but they have Tom Bilyeu. He's one of the co-founder of Impact Theory, and he has a great channel here on YouTube where you can go and check it out. What they try to do, their mission over Impact Theory, is to basically help improve people's lives by just by improving your health, whether that is your mental health or even your physical health and things like that. It's got a great channel where he talks a lot to other entrepreneurs and people who have been successful out there in the business landscape and even in the health landscape. He gets through and talks to some of the doctors and things like that, sports stars. And one of my favorites he did was he talked to Mike Mutzel from High Intensity Health, which is another one of my absolute favorite channels here on YouTube. But that's what Impact Theory is all about. It's basically trying to improve people's lives by, through thought processes, through health processes and different things like that. So, but again, what I like so much about Impact Theory is that they've taken this book, they've taken this series, and they've kind of proven that you can still be successful in the comic book landscape the way it's been over the past handful of years. We all know that the comic book readership and everything has been kind of dying out. I mean, that's something that's undeniable, especially for the big two. We know that they've had a lot of shortcomings as of lately for some of us, and for some people they like it. But again, it has affected readership and the comic book industry as a whole. We've got Comicsgate out there. We got War Campaign that has kind of come out of that, and all of these different things. But what I like is that Impact Theory has proven that you can still go out there through normal distribution, diamond distributors, and your local comic book shops. You still can create a book and be successful and find success in it. Now, is it easy? It's certainly not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. That's just how I feel about it, and I don't really know a whole lot about the comic book industry. But what I like about this series is, like I said, they've started a grassroots thing here through local comic book shop distribution. And the thing is about this story, and I'll tell you a little bit about this, is this book is basically a cyberpunk tale. It takes place 30 years in the future, in which technology has kind of overridden, basically overtook every facet of our lives. People have become dependent on it. People started upgrading their bodies with it, obviously helping with their jobs and things like that. But what happened was worldwide it became a problem because it basically started to, how would you say in South Park lingo, it took our gerbs. And so basically, the world is all dealing with it in their own ways. And in the United States, they enacted Article 10, which is called the Return. And so what that did is it outlawed this advanced technology. Now, it was still regulated. Like, you can still have your body upgraded with some of this technology, but it's regulated, just like the government would do. It's regulated, so you can't have like the most cutting edge stuff, And of course, there are still factions of people out there who are continuing to move forward with a lot of the producing like AI and things like that, and just like upgrading their bodies with this technology. And the one of those factions is Neon Future. That's one of the underground factions who continues to do this with their bodies and make these upgrades. And another one, also in part of that underground is another one called the Loop. Which is, it's really weird how it all kind of goes. Like, the Loop is actually like this another faction run by Gecko. It's like the underground faction, but the Loop is actually kind of like an area as well. Like, I still don't know a whole lot about that. They don't really just dive super deep into it. You just know that there are definitely two factions of people here in the underground who are running things and upgrading their bodies with AI. And here on the cover, we see, in case you guys don't know, this character is actually taken off the likeness of Steve Aoki. Sovey, who is he's like a DJ music guy in real life that goes out there. He's out there does a lot of festivals and stuff, and they use his likeness here in this book as Kita Sovey, who is the leader of Neon Future, of this underground movement. And so anyway, like the technology has been outlawed, and people have gone underground, and that's Neon Future and Gecko's I guess her faction of people. And basically what has happened through that, they have the United States has the CTG, which is the counter-terrorism group, who they go out and they seek justice on those who continue to upgrade their bodies with all of this illegal technology. And so through that, there's been actually like a reality TV show in which Clay Campbell, who is one of the main characters of this story, he's like the head of this TV show. He's like the one who's really out there at the forefront on this TV show, going out there and getting all these ratings. They're going out and they're basically executing people who have upgraded their bodies with this advanced technology. Because if you have the advanced technology, they're coming after you to get you, and they're going to take you in so you can face trial. But if you run, they're going to execute you because you're running. So, they've been getting all kinds of high ratings. Well, what happened here is Clay Campbell ended up getting killed. He ended up getting killed in a car crash, and we learn a little bit more about that car crash throughout the course of this story, especially, I believe, in issue 5 and 6. Clay Campbell gets killed in a car crash, and Kita Sovey steps in and saves his life by upgrading him with this advanced technology. Clay Campbell is reluctant to embrace this technology, and he's reluctant to embrace this technology into his body and work with Neon Future going forward, and exactly what their mission is. So, and that's kind of what the tale here is. It's, like it's a cyberpunk tale, dystopian type future. I mean, for me, if you know cyberpunk, these kinds of tales, they all kind of follow the same typical kind of tropes. It's a lot like The Matrix, where he's reluctant. He eventually gives in and decides to help Neon Future and exactly what their mission is. They have some friends that kind of get caught up in the system. And that's when he ultimately decides that he needs to step up and help them, because some of these people are there in their positions, ending up getting caught up, mostly because of him, and he kind of feels responsible. Like I said, a lot like the Matrix and things like that. Now, I've heard people review this series as well and say like, oh, this is just like all the typical stuff. Well, I think in this series, they're well aware of that, that people are going to draw those lines and those correlations, like, oh, okay, like they're just following all these typical tropes. Well, I think that they're very aware of that, and they know that they're going to get that criticism in from this book and this series, and I think they've interwoven a lot of that into the series as well, which I think is played off really nicely. One of the things that I've definitely liked about this book is, like I said, it's a little bit self-aware in some of those ways. Definitely my favorite book, Neon Future. Again, I will be doing a giveaway for this trade paperback. The only thing you have to do to be entered into that is be a U.S. resident, be subscribed, and comment in any of my videos, and I will do that giveaway probably on my live stream that I do coming up on my 1-year anniversary, and that is going to be on November 29th. Yeah, I know it'll be a year, but I guess what I'm asking you guys is, can you guys help get me to 700 viewers? Can we get to 700 subscribers by the time we get to that year? Hell, can we get to 1,000? That would truly be awesome and truly be a feat. And at that point, I could say, take that, Social Blade, take that. Social Blade was wrong about how soon I would get to 500 as well. You guys helped make that happen, and I do greatly appreciate it. And again, I'm not doing these giveaways just to gain subscribers. I do the giveaways for you guys, my regular viewers, for being here and subscribing, just being awesome supporters of the channel. And I do greatly appreciate that. So like I said, it is New Comic Book Wednesday. I'm going to be doing that giveaway for Neon Future. Again, this is a very beautiful book as well. I mean, you can see, I'm not sure how much you can see there on the cover. You can't really see. Oh, there you go. You can see how over here it's all kind of matte colored, and here it's kind of got like the shiny gloss here through the butterflies. Absolutely beautiful book. When I picked this up from my comic book shop, this came out last week, and I had them order it, and it came in yesterday. It came in this week, and I've got to tell you, this book is absolutely beautiful. Like I picked it up compared to some of the other trade paperbacks I've seen out there. I'm like, ooh, like this is nice. This is a really beautiful book. Like I'm like, ooh, Man, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. And again, the art in this, I'll show you the back cover there, where it kind of tells about it, and that's Kita Sovi right there, dressed up in like his in the neon garden, how he looks, his avatar, if you will, when he's in the neon garden. But again, this is an absolutely beautifully written book, and it's got great art in it. I hate to even open this thing up for you guys to look at, but it's got some great art in it. The art really pops off the page. Just and beautiful, just beautiful art, beautiful coloring, beautiful just everything. Like I said, I've really liked this. This has been my favorite indie title since I've started reading comic books again. Again, I can't wait. I can't wait to do a giveaway on this and let anybody else out there who hasn't read this or wants to read this get their eyes on this, man, because I've really truly enjoyed this book that much. So yeah, and again, like I said, it is New Comic Book Wednesday. I've got another review. Like I said, I just reviewed the Powers of X or Powers of 10 book. I released that this morning. These videos have been really helpful here on the channel. It's gotten a lot of viewers and things like that. My local comic book shop has been awesome in allowing me to get a couple of these early so I can get my reviews up and early, because like I said, they've really helped out the channel. I really do appreciate that. My local comic book shop is absolutely awesome. If you have a local comic book shop near you, you should get out and support them. Not only because you can go out there and pick up some cool comic books, but chances are, if they're like mine, they have action figures, they have posters, they have trading cards, all different kinds of things that you can go out there and geek and nerd out on, and that's something that's really cool. And again, there's times when they have the free comic previews that they give away, like the Marvel ones and DC ones that kind of shows you what all books are getting ready to come out over the next couple of months, and really cool stuff. And again, my local comic book shop has been absolutely awesome and supportive here of the channel. Another review I'm going to have coming up is for this one, White Fox. I did get done reading this. I just got to shoot my video really quick and get that posted. That's White Fox. This is a new series being put out by Marvel Comics, and I believe this is based off of their game Future Fight Firsts. Is based on this. I believe this character came out of one of their mobile games or something. I'm not for sure. But this book, altogether, you'll see more about it in the review. I didn't think it was a bad first issue. It's just, for me, it didn't give me enough to make me want more. It was, just kind of, I don't know, the setup and everything. It could have been a lot better, but certainly what I've come to learn out of like the big two is that's kind of what we get a lot of is, we get a lot of stories, especially in these first issues that are, yeah, they're okay. I've noticed that, and that's kind of what's taken me down the indie rabbit hole, is where I got into some of these indies, and like I read the first issue, I'm like, holy crap, like this is great. This is what you do to set up a story. You leave me wanting more. You leave me wanting to read that second issue, and it's just something I want to see. I want to read it. But this doesn't do that. It gives us a story. It gives us kind of the coming up of the character a little bit, but this doesn't leave me thirsting to read issue number 2. So again, thank you to my local comic book shop for allowing me to read this and do a review on it. That will be dropping here on the channel again very soon. I also got Cobra Kai that they allowed me to read, so I can do a review on. I just wanted to do this one because I'm like, I don't know, how is this series? Is anybody else wondering about this, if it's good or anything? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I haven't got a chance to read this one, but look for that review coming up as well. Again, that's as far as like the comic books and stuff. I've got my comic books here that I've got done, that I've got to do my comic book pull list that I will be releasing later today as well. Another thing I wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna go ahead and get here into the live chats. I see got several people here. Let's see. Bake the Snake, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. He says, "Hey gang, much shaking, nothing much, man. Thanks for being here, Bake the Snake." Kobe Reviews Movies, thank you so much for being here as well. Bake the Snake says, "Neon Future is decent. I have the Kim Jong Gi cover. I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one that is. It's been my favorite. It's been my favorite series as far as indies have been concerned. And I think for me, a lot of that, I've found that I think I just like the whole cyberpunk thing. Which, if you like, for Alita Battle Angel, that movie, it came out, I didn't go see it at the theater. I finally bought it on DVD, and I watched it. I'm like, man, okay. Basically, I've come to the conclusion that anything cyberpunk, I just need to go see at the movies. I just need to buy the comic books and read it because I don't know. There's something about it I just like, I guess. But yeah, I think Future is decent now. It really kind of depends on the reader. I mean, different strokes for different folks. Certainly, some people won't like it as much as I do. Some people may not like it at all. But me, I got to tell you, I absolutely have enjoyed it so far. Carrie Neves, thank you so much for being here. And Dano Cosmic, thank you so much for being here as well. Again, that's, I'm probably going to keep this video short today. Like I said, Wednesdays, I'm going to start centralizing more around comic books. The morning movie chats won't be on Wednesdays so much. It'll be probably more talking comic books here. And then I'll probably continue those morning movie chats on, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and even Fridays. But I want to kind of switch some of that up just a little bit. And I have been getting some guests here on the morning movie chats. I had Mads Mama Bear here on a couple Thursdays ago. Even has Stevie J reviews on a couple of times. Very, very good. A very good time having guests on, and that's why I want to bring more guests onto my channel for that reason. And like I was saying earlier, Young Ripper 59, we're going to get him here on here soon so we can have a good conversation as well. In case you guys don't check out and you don't follow Young Ripper 59, you guys need to go do that. He's one of my absolute favorite content creators here on YouTube, and I am a proud Patreon supporter of him as well. And as well as Professor Bill over at Comic Books University and the Den of Nerds. Those are three of the channels that I definitely support, as well as Drunk 3PO, who does very good things with the money that he gets from his Patreon supporters. But if you guys would like to support me here on the channel, you can do so by following some of the links down there in the description, where you can go and send a direct donation through Streamlabs, or you can even become a monthly Patreon supporter, or you can even send direct donations through Patreon, one-time donations. You don't have to do the monthly thing. Again, all of that money is going to upgrade just some of the things here on the channel, so I can bring you guys some just better quality videos, hopefully expand on my selection of comic books and even movies that I'm going to be going out to see. Again, those links are down in the description, where you can go and do that and make a donation if you'd like to. Don't feel obligated to do that, because I'm going to be sitting here making videos anyway. I'm by no means a huge channel, but I do thank every single one of you for every single dollar that you guys donate. I do greatly appreciate that anybody is willing to toss me a few bucks for the work I've been putting in here. I do greatly appreciate it. And if you're a content creator out there, you guys know what it's like to have to create content, whether it's on a daily basis, twice a week, hell, even once a week. It can be a lot. It's time consuming. So and that's why I certainly support some of the people that I do through super chats, through Streamlabs, and even through Patreon as well. Because I know the kind of work that it takes to go out there and do this. Dano says, anyone checked out the Napoleon Dynamite comic? You know what? I actually have. Dano, I actually have that book. I didn't get to read it all yet, because believe me, it was wordy. It was really wordy, and there's a lot to it. But I'll do a review of that for you, Dano Cosmic. But altogether, the art in it was average. I guess it's kind of what I expected out of that kind of book. But a lot of it too was kind of something that I guess it really falls right in the vein of the Napoleon Dynamite movie. There was just kind of just like casual conversation, just Napoleon being Napoleon. But I'll do a review of that. I know issue 2 should probably be coming out here in the next, if not next week, the week after that for sure. But again, yes. So and that's going to be, like I said, going to be changing a few things up here on the channel. And this week, I just want to let you guys know, over the weekend, this Saturday, we actually got tickets. We're going to go to my first Comic-Con ever. It's going to be the LA Comic-Con. Down in LA, obviously. I'm going to go to that. Probably going to take the family out. We're all going to dress up. We're going to dork out. And my wife is Japanese. And I've got this suit that she wore last year to be Black Widow. Now, she's Japanese. She don't have red hair or anything. I was thinking about, should we even give her red hair? Should we get a wig for her? Or should we just take her there and have her dress as Black Widow? And if anybody says anything, which most cosplayers and most of us geeks probably aren't going to say anything and be critical and be a-holes about that kind of stuff. But if anybody says anything, I'll tell her, all you got to do, if people say, you're supposed to be Black Widow, she's not Japanese, just say, I'm undercover. Hello. I don't know, but that was just something I was thinking about. But yeah, we're going to be going to LA Comic-Con this weekend. That's going to be a good time. I know I'm going to have fun there, geeking out with just some of the other geeks there, man. It just sounds like a whole lot of fun. And something I've been wanting to do for a while. I'd love to go to San Diego Comic-Con, but for one, I know it's expensive, and two, Man, that's a huge Comic Con. I heard it takes a lot, and you may want to go the whole weekend. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to do that. I'll probably see if I can get some videos, some photos, and stuff to show you guys all. And then on Monday, I'll be doing some movie reviews here over the next week. Myrtle will probably come back in to do some more trailer park reviews because on Monday I'm going to be going to watch The Three from Hell, the new Rob Zombie flick, and I haven't really seen a whole lot of word out there about that yet. I think have they already premiered that? Because I know they're doing it more of a Fathom Events thing, and it's only showing on certain days. And I know that I'm going to be going to see it on Monday. So I will probably have a review posting sometime soon. I'll be talking about it on the morning movie chats next week, and then on Tuesday, I'm actually going to go watch the Saska sisters Rabid down at the Chinese Theater here in Hollywood, and I can't wait to do that because I know they're going to have a Q&A there, and I'm just hoping maybe, just maybe, I'll get a chance to meet them, and maybe I'm hoping. Oh, where'd I put it at? I don't see it here. But I'm hoping I can get them. No. I'm hoping I can get them to sign this. I'm hoping I can get the Sasuke sisters to sign this. I'm going to take a Sharpie with me. If they're just doing a Q&A, maybe I'll run into them. I don't know. I've had a lot of luck, running by people, like at concerts and everything, coming by them, just through happenstance, getting a chance to run into them and meet them. We met Mike Patton. We met Mike Patton and Danny DeVito outside of a Faith No More concert one time. Yeah. Yeah, luck. I'm telling you, luck. So I'm gonna go see Rabbit on Tuesday down at the Chinese Theater. My first time ever being to the Chinese Theater. And I just, it was something just kind of a last minute thing. I wanted to get out there and support the Saska sisters because you know what? They're absolutely great. They've written one of my favorite mainstream comic books of the year in this Black Widow series. I absolutely love this book. This is actually my favorite title that I've read this year, as far, especially out of the main two, out of the big two. Absolutely great series, and a lot of that has to do with the subject matter of what is being dealt with. It's more of like a real life story about what's going on out there. Some of the things going on out there in our world. We've seen all these stories, and if you follow the Saska sisters, the Twisted Twins, on Twitter and things like that, you'll see they're very active and very vocal in a lot of like the human trafficking that's been going on, and just bringing pedophiles to justice and all those different kinds of things. So that's why I definitely wanted to get out to support them at their premiere coming up this Tuesday. And they've been doing premieres at different festivals around the world so far. So in promotion of this movie, I want to get out and support these ladies, so I'm going to be there to see that. Hopefully, I'll get to run into them so they can sign this book of Black Widow, which is my favorite because that's what it's dealing with. I have kids of my own, you know what I'm saying? I have a wife, and this book deals with real life stuff where Natasha is going to she goes to Madripoor because she has a thirst for blood and she wants to take it out on all the right people. So she tracks down these ring of people putting on this. They have this thing on the dark web called No Restraints Play, which if you've ever seen the movie Nerve, it's somewhat like that. Basically, people bid to be part of this show and view this show. And the highest bidder actually becomes the director, and they do some very nasty, vile things to these women and children on the show. And you can probably imagine all the stuff they're doing: women, children, being enslaved, being hunted down, human trafficking. All you can. I don't really need to say it, do I? I guess I can't be demonetized. I'm not monetized, but it's been a really, really great series. Like I said, it was my favorite book this year, aside from Neon Future, the other one I will be doing a giveaway on. But it was absolutely great. I'm hoping I can get that book signed by them as well. Again, absolutely great series, and I became a full-on Black Widow fan after reading this series. Right now, I'm currently reading the Web of Black Widow series as well. Issue number 2 of that just came out this week. I've got it sitting right here in front of me. I haven't got a chance to read it yet, but I will be reading that and doing a review on that as well. Again, absolutely great stuff. Great stuff. So yeah, that's what I've got coming up. And then also on Thursday, I'm gonna be going to see Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot. On Thursday, again, that's a Fathom event thing. It's going to be a double feature. The one I'm going to see because it's the other time it's playing is on Tuesday, and on Tuesday I'll be down in Hollywood watching Rabid. So I'm going to be going to see the Jay and Silent Bob double feature this Thursday. So I'm going to have some movie reviews coming up, and I can't wait, man. It's gonna be a busy week next week. Like I said, this weekend I got LA Comic Con Monday, or yeah, LA Comic Con on Saturday. On Sunday, I'm going to try to put together a live stream where I can get some other comic book readers and stuff together, where we can talk about the House of X and Powers of X series that has just come out. And then on Monday, I'm going to be watching The Three from Hell. On Tuesday, I'm going to be watching Rabid down at the Chinese Theater. That's going to be quite an experience, I know it. And then on Thursday, I am going to be going out and watching the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Jay and Silent Bob reboot at the movie theater. All of these things, and man, I'm telling you, I'm already exhausted just thinking about what this whole next week is going to have in store for me. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Um, at Dano Cosmic says, right on, thanks. Saw a couple panels, looked odd, but loved the character in the movie. Yeah, me too, and that's why I went ahead and bought it too. And also because my wife, she loves Napoleon Dynamite, and I figured, hey, I'll get this for her. Maybe I can get her into reading some comic books as well. I don't know, but yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Tommy says, super spy. Think a lot of people forget that about Widow. Yeah, definitely. And Black Widow, like I said, she became one of my favorite characters after reading this run that the Saska sisters so like geniusly wrote. I'm telling you, like, there's like the issue, like issue number 6 of it, like it had me in tears, man. I'm like, like we need a real life Black Widow, because we do. Because there's a bunch of sickos out there in our world who are just out there preying and trying to take advantage of great people, and that's kind of what the story was all about. And I truly like it. And Jodie Hauser definitely has her work cut out for her. She's the one who is writing this current series of the Web of Black Widow. Now, the first issue I read, did I do a review on it? I can't remember if I did a review on it or not. But I thought issue number 1 was pretty good. Again, it's not. I don't think it's going to be quite where the Saska sisters run was of it, just because I don't think they're going after the same exact thing here. But again, I thought issue number 1 was pretty good. Can't wait to read issue number 2 here. And yeah, Black Widow is certainly a great character, and one I think many people out there in the world have taken advantage of. The sad thing is, I know that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we won't ever see the Black Widow that I want to see on screen. Because if you ask me, the Black Widow movie that's coming out should be this story that the Saska sisters just wrote, or at least based off of it. But again, that would include the MCU wanting to go out and show her going on a murderous rampage, taking down a bunch of human traffickers and child molesters and stuff. You know, I just don't see the MCU doing that. It's a little bit dark. Maybe Warner Brothers can take that one, right? But anyway, aggressively relaxing. Thank you so much for being here. He says, your wife can always just explain she is Black Widow from Universe, random a series of random numbers, right? Yeah, I'm from Universe 6281. Yeah, definitely. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one a little bit short, guys. Like I said, it's New Comic Book Wednesday. You guys got to get out there and support your local comic book shop. And if there are any of the books, I'm gonna be dropping my pull list here later today. But you guys want to see what's on my pull list? I'm gonna show you what's on my pull list. I got the Web of Black Widow, the issue number 2. I've got Amazing Spider-Man issue number 31. Now that's being an Absolute Carnage tie-in. I haven't been keeping up with Absolute Carnage. I might be not pulling Amazing Spider-Man soon enough. This one might fall off my pull list at some point. I got Coffin Bound. This is issue number 3. Issue number 3 of Coffin Bound, I believe. Yeah, issue number 3. Been pretty crazy book there on Image Comics. I've also got Reaver issue number 4. Absolutely great series. I've really been liking this one. Kind of a medieval, fantastical tale. This one right here, I'm definitely gonna be doing a review on. I was looking forward to this one. That's on Aftershock Comics. That's Shoplifters Will Be Liquidated issue number 1. I can't wait to get that one read as well. I went ahead and picked this up because I want to do a review, because I've heard good things about this. And I believe issue number 2 is coming out next week. Is it next week? Something is Killing the Children. They finally got a print in that was at a decent price, at cover price, that wasn't overpriced or anything, of Something is Killing the Children. I want to read that one. I've heard it was really good, and that's on Boom Studios. I also picked up Ice Cream Man, another great book I've really enjoyed. Picked this one up to review as well. Gwenpool Strikes Back, absolutely. I'm not even, yeah. Also got Hawkman issue, what is it, 17? Hawkman issue number 17. I've really liked the Hawkman series, and I've never read Hawkman before. That came at the suggestion of Comic Man Jake here on YouTube, is telling me to check that out. Picked up Loki issue number 4. Now this series, I think I still got to read issue number 3, maybe. I can't remember if I read issue number 3. It's a different series. After issue number 5 or 6, I probably won't continue pulling that one. May just collect it on trade paperbacks or something. I don't know. Altogether, it hasn't been bad, but it just doesn't give me, like I said, it doesn't leave me wanting more after each issue. You know, like I feel like that's what a lot of comic books are missing, is that ability to make you want to read more after you read the book. You know, it should make you want to read the next issue, and it's something I just see missing out of a lot of books that I've read, out of the big two, with the exception of DC's Deceased. Amazing Fantasy, I went ahead and picked up this facsimile copy of Amazing Fantasy issue number 15, Spider-Man's first appearance. I did pick up this variant cover of Amazing Spider-Man as well. Picked up The Watcher. I read issue number 2 on here, and this is only a 3-issue mini series. Absolutely great, and I loved that art that was on this book as well. Very beautiful. And again, I'm probably giving away my whole pull list here, but that's all good. It's all good. You guys are here right now. Also got these True Believers in this dollar comic from DC as well. Pretty cool that they're doing a lot of these, that Marvel and DC is doing these True Believers and just these dollar issues. I know that Image Comics has been doing a lot of the dollar issues as well. They're called Image Firsts, and there's really a lot to be said about some of those, about a lot of those kinds of those books. I know even Young Rippo actually did a video talking about this, be it through DC or Marvel, and how it's kind of affected the industry. We know the comic book sales have been down throughout the industry and things like that. It's not quite what it used to be during the big boom of the 80s and 90s, you know what I mean? And these dollar issues do kind of prove that, I think, where people are going out and buying these things up because the quality there's a little more quality in the storytelling and even in the art as well. Which is something like I was pointing out, and I've talked about lots of times here when it comes to the Amazing Spider-Man. We can see, look at this cover. Look how absolutely great this cover is. Okay, I love how Ryan Ottley, his art for Amazing Spider-Man has been nothing short of amazing. It's been absolutely great. I just wish he was commissioned to do all of the art, because he hasn't been doing all the art in all the books. Like, he's been doing covers and stuff like that. If there's anybody out there in Marvel ever listening to my videos, you guys need to get Ryan Ottley on this book exclusively. I wouldn't take this off my pull list if you had him in here doing the art on every single issue. He needs to be the guy that this book needs to be his drawing. I mean, plain and simple. Ryan Ottley needs to be the artist here, not bringing in all the other people. And I'm not saying anything bad about the other artists. I'm just saying I feel like Ryan Ottley knows how to draw this character. Nick Spencer has been doing a good job writing it. Now, he's been doing a good job. The Amazing Spider-Man is different than the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I've absolutely loved the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man that Tom Taylor has been writing. But it's, again, it's more grounded. We get a little bit more of the actual Peter Parker character, more of that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man feel, where this is like bigger, more over the top stories in the Amazing Spider-Man. But Nick Spencer's writing here lately, just like through the whole series, it's been good, and I won't say it's been bad. It's just been kind of a roller coaster. It's good and decent, just kind of flowing along that way. And now they're doing these tie-ins here. I think I still got to read the last issue of Amazing Spider-Man and then get into this issue, but that one might be coming off my pull list soon, and I hate to do that because you guys know I absolutely love Spider-Man. But again, guys, you got to do something to keep my interest in it, and maybe come down on the titles a little bit. There for a while, we had an oversaturation of Spider-Man titles out there. It was getting pretty ridiculous, which I was noticing. DC does the same with Superman and Batman. It looks like Batman has like this week, I think I've seen 5 different titles coming out that are featuring Batman. Like, come on, guys. I get that you have these cash cows and there's things you want to capitalize on, but that's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I pulled I did a video not too long ago called "The Saturated Spider-Man" here on the channel a while back, where I showed how many books I pulled of Spider-Man in just 1 month, and there was 24. Some of those did include, some of them did include like some of the True Believers and stuff like that, and but just all the characters that are based off of Spider-Man and things like that. There's like 24 in 1 month. 24 just based off of Spider-Man, and they weren't all Peter Parker Spider-Man. They were just, there was like Spider-Gwen, Superior Spider-Man, and some of those things like that. That's just, I mean, even just the ones taking out those, there was still 12 that were just Peter Parker. 12. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's and not only that, that's intimidating for somebody who's just trying to get back into reading comic books, doesn't know, walks into their local comic book shop like, "Hey, what Spider-Man should I read?" They'll be like, "Good luck, pal." You know what I'm saying? And the same thing goes on with Superman and Batman. I've noticed, especially with Batman lately, like, come on guys, like we got to get a grip here. You got to reel it in a little bit, because you're going to overdo it to the point, and essentially for some of us nerds, there really is no overdoing it, but like for your average reader out there, somebody trying to get into it, it's intimidating unless they come to like a channel like mine, where I still haven't done that video yet, where somebody to make sense of what they should read if they're just getting into it. It's hard for them to do that, so you guys got to reel it in a little bit. Reel it in just a little bit. Come on. Aggressively Relaxing says, this is the best issue of Gwenpool in this series. It was so funny. I haven't read this new issue. I know, like in the first two issues, I read them and I'm just like, I didn't like them just because like it's like they're trying to be funny. You know what I mean? And when somebody tries to be funny, it's not funny. Like you just have to be funny, and I don't think they've done a very good job in doing that throughout the series again. But that's just my personal feelings. I'm sure a lot of people out there feel differently about it. I've heard different takes on there. But again, for me, I know a lot of that comes down to the writer of it, and that's Lee Williams. I haven't read anything of hers that I've liked, and I'm not trying to pick on her or anything. I guess. I'm not trying to pick on her, but I've actually gone out there and pulled other books of hers that she has written. Like I pulled Chastity. I pulled a book of hers of that, issue number 1 that came out, and I just didn't like it. The writing wasn't quite there. It wasn't that great. I pulled a Deja Thoris and Barbarella and Deja Thoris book that she wrote as well, over on Dynamite Comics. And again, I just didn't like it. And like I said, I'm not trying to pick on her, but she's kind of a writer I've singled out in the fact that I've like, okay, like, is it just me? Because where I first heard of her really was in the Giant Man series that was War of the Realms tie-in. I'm just like, man, I don't know if I like it. So I've actually went out there and purposely pulled her books in the hopes that she will write something that I like and that I want to read. It's not necessarily that I'm trying to pick on her and say that she sucks, because she's out there writing books. I'm not ever going to just outright say that somebody sucks as a writer or anything like that, because for one, that's a simplistic review, and for one, the other, I don't write books myself. All I could do is give my input as a reader. So I don't ever really mean to tear her down when I'm reviewing any of her books or anything. Because the thing, like I said, is I'm just giving feedback, putting it out there for you guys to see my feelings on it. But also, like I said, in the hopes that it improves and I finally get something that I will enjoy. I don't do it to be mean, believe me. Because like I said, even I try to be good and critical on all of my reviews and anything that I talk about here. I don't like to purposely just tear stuff down just to tear it down, and because I don't like it, because I do realize that there are people out there who will like it. But again, yeah, maybe I'll have to check out this issue. Hopefully it's better than the last two issues have been. So yeah. And so yeah, I guess that's that. Aggressively also says, amazing is so good today. It has a wonderful Spider-Man moment and continues this great style of explaining Spider history while telling a new story. All right. Again, I haven't got a chance to read this one yet, but I will be getting to that very soon. Like I said, I think I've got an issue to catch up on, and I've kind of, like I said, I've liked Nick Spencer. I've liked Nick Spencer as a writer, and I liked what he's been doing with this series overall. It's just been, going from decent and good and great. It's just been kind of following that trajectory, just kind of up and down between decent, good, and great. Because like the series when Nick Spencer started off, it was absolutely great. It sucked me in and pulled me back back into reading comics. So, yeah, again, I like his style and what he's been doing. But again, Ryan Ottley, they need to keep Ryan Ottley on the art on that book full time. Do whatever it takes to keep him on that book full time. To heck with all the other artists they've been doing on. They haven't done terrible jobs. I just like the art that Ryan Ottley has done, and I've become accustomed to it. Max Santiago, thank you so much for being here. Max Santiago says, good morning. Aggressively says, this is the best. Oh, okay, I already read that one. Um, Aggressively says, I'm not sure quality is better in the True Believers. I think it sells because people want to share famous stories with people at that price point. And that could very well be it. That could very well be it. But I do know, like, a lot of these are obviously like the classic tales where, it was more the golden age of comic books, like, that a lot of people would say is arguably better than what we're getting out of a lot of the stories nowadays. And I think a lot of that too is because, just because a lot of these characters are old. A lot of them are old and been around a long time. So you've got to find something new to say, something new to do with the character. That's something else that got me back into reading comic books was Captain America. When he became a Hydra agent. I know a lot of people didn't like that. But that's kind of what got me back into reading as well. I went back and traced back to exactly what made that come, and then everything going forward after that. And that's why, I know some people out there probably don't like Ta-Nehisi Coates', isn't that who's writing it? Version of the Captain America that's been going on right now. I've actually liked it because I've liked, but again, that's what got me back into reading was reading that story of Captain America and what all he's gone through. I like that they actually did something a little bit different with the character. Now, the one thing that hasn't really been going on in the Captain America series so far, I think 2 issues behind there as well, is there hasn't been like over the top action or anything that I want out of Captain America, but it's been a really great narrative story about him trying to gain back the respect of the United States and the population basically of Earth because nobody trusted Captain America. Something I've definitely liked. Let's see. But yeah, it's probably a little bit of both aggressively. I think it's probably, some people want to read those classic stories. Some people probably want to replace their old issues so they don't have to read them or anything anymore. They can get them graded and all those kinds of stuff. Who knows? But yeah, it's been very good. Russell Wells Benjamin, thank you so much for being here, sir. Tommy says, yeah, they have a good series and beat it to death with multiple releases. Yeah, and that's the thing with some of the characters. Like I get it, but you don't have to oversaturate. But at the same time, I do understand they have to get something out there to get their sales up as well. But maybe you could do that by getting rid of some of the crappy ones that you're putting out there. Like bring your bottom line down. You know what I mean? Get rid of some of the series that I can't say that nobody wants to read, but series that aren't as popular. Just scrap them. It's okay to get rid of series. You're getting rid of some of the other good stuff. Why not get rid of some of the bad stuff? You know what I mean? Max Santiago says, "Oh, I noticed that. Plus the extra cover for each. Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, they do. Multiple covers and everything for, and that's really who suffers more on that. Those variant covers is the comic shops because they got to order X amount to get this cover, and that's to me that's just kind of wrong. Only in the sense that maybe they have to over order on a certain book just to be able to get this cover, and it's like, huh. Man, I wouldn't want to be in that business. Max Santiago says every time I look at the shelves, I'm kind of overwhelmed. Yeah, and that's kind of how it is too. And some of that kind of plays into the variant covers too. You see 2 variant covers there as well, and then all these other titles is kind of like, if you don't really know, if you're not in the know, you're kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. There's just too much. It's like a dog having to use a restroom, and there's stuck between 2 different fire hydrants, right? Thomas says, if you like what you hear, be sure to hit that like button. Yes, yes, please. Make sure you hit that like button. Rosetta Allen says, YouTube unsubscribed to me to you again. Yeah, it happens, Rosetta. It happens, man. I know I've actually found a couple. I always thought that was kind of a myth, but I found a couple of channels that was unsubscribed from. I'm like, hey, what the hell? I know I was subscribed to you, and some of them I don't get notifications for even when I have them turned on. And again, that could be because I'm subscribed to a lot of channels, and they're not trying to spam me. Who knows? Who knows? But thank you so much for being here. Tommy says, back when I used to go to the comic shop every week, I wouldn't even pull my store would for me. Oh yeah, they know what you want. I mean, yeah, that's a good thing. Max says, I'm getting back into buying, Tommy. It has changed a lot since 2011. New 52 got me out. Yeah, man. A lot of the comic book landscape has changed since 2011. I know around that time was when they started, a lot of them started doing, like what everyone's calling, the social justice warrioring stuff in the books and all that stuff. Yeah, that's a different story for a different time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's when a lot of things really started to change in the comic book industry. I believe that's around the time that Comicsgate started coming out. Was that somewhere around 2012, somewhere around that era? I could be wrong there. I don't know enough about it. But maybe if we get Young Ripper here on the channel, we can talk a little bit. That would be something we talk a little bit more about, because again, that's something I don't know a whole lot about other than some of the creators that are out there making the books. Max says Marvel is predatory on the retailers. Yeah, and it's kind of a messed up situation, with some of those incentive books and all that kinds of stuff. I mean, it is what it is. I know my local comic book shop does a very good job in their ordering and stuff and knowing what they need to get in and for who. So again, some of it's probably on the comic book shops too, that they need to know their customer base as well, and not just be going after incentive covers if they can't afford it or know they can't sell all their issues at the same time, because I think that could be just as bad for the comic book industry as well, where you're over ordering on a book that isn't selling, but you're ordering because you have to get these certain covers in as well. That could be bad, because also you're giving fake numbers that way too, to the industry. So yeah. Tommy says, I'm hoping to get back into it again. Only have 2 short boxes left from the 4 long boxes I used to have. Yeah, man, that's sad. But hey, man, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. Max Santiago says, freaking Hickman had me at X-Men. It's his fault I'm back. Dude, and I'm telling you, Max, the series that he's been writing, the House of X and Powers of X, have been so on point, and there's so much going on in them. Like, I'm noticing, like, you really have to pay attention to the art going on in this book as well. Some of the panels, like, there's a lot of subtle things happening in these books. Absolutely great book, absolutely great series. Rosetta says it did it to me with Mecha about 6 times a day till I joined her membership circle. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's YouTube, man. That's YouTube. She says, I want to get back into modern comics, but definitely going more to the small companies. Not a fan of the big names nowadays. Yeah, Ripa is badass. He is awesome. Like I said, one of my favorite content creators here on YouTube. But Rosetta Allen, I would say, and I've talked about them several times here on the channel, is Vault Comics has been doing a great job putting out some great titles. A lot of them have been kind of like thrillers, horror story types, very good books. And what they're doing, what I like what they're doing is, they're doing the whole inclusion thing by just good storytelling. They've been getting some different writers in there telling some different stories. Been absolutely great, and they're doing things the right way. And that's what I like about Vault Comics. So you should definitely check out some Vault Comics if you want to get into some more of the modern stuff. Been probably my favorite comic book publisher out there. And Aftershock Comics, I've read a couple of books on Aftershock as well that have been really great, that I've really liked on Aftershock Comics as well. Yes, agreed. Okay, Max. Yes, looking forward to Second Street and him doing a chat. Yeah, like I said, I'll get that lined up soon. Like I said, I know Young Rip is a busy man as well as I am. And I'm sure we're all busy, but we'll get that done here one of these days. Just been busy for the most part. Aggressively says this Amazing Spider-Man added another level to the Carnage event, introducing another villain's motivation to complete Carnage's plan. The way this event is naturally creeping into other stories is great. Yeah, and that's what I've heard about the Absolute Carnage series. Again, like after War of the Realms, I said I'm done with getting on board with the Marvel series until they can figure out how to do stuff without it being so willy-nilly. And of course I got off at the wrong time, because I've heard this Absolute Carnage series has been absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait till it comes out on trade paperback so I can read them, because I'm going to wait for trade paperback on it. I'm not giving in. I'm not giving back in until I see that they've made an improvement on that. Let's see. Rosetta says a lot of big companies are really preying on small stores and small town theaters. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Max Santiago says Ripa is one of the best comic book analysts. Period. Yeah, he is. He is. You can tell he has a true passion for the medium and the books that he's reading. And he does kind of like what I do too. He finds books that he knows that he's probably not going to like, so he can review them and break them down for you. Just like your boy Zach. He does the same thing. He's been really good. And I actually just heard just subscribed to him not too long ago, through hearing about him through Young Ripa, and yeah, and he does a good job as well. Um, Rosetta said, I'm not a big horror girl, but I can see what they have on the sociological thriller side. Yeah, yeah, certainly, certainly. And they have some, one you may want to check out is like Resonant. I thought it was a pretty good issue, but sociological thriller. You may want to check out Aftershock Comics because it seems like theirs have a little bit more to do like that. Like Bad Reception is a title that is dealing with this couple that's getting married. There's a high profile couple. They're getting married and they're doing this off the grid wedding. And what they're doing there is basically all their guests have to give up their cell phones for 24 hours, and it's driving some of them nuts. And what happened in issue number 2 is great. Max Santiago says, cool. Any recommendations for current best new writer besides Donny Cates? Donny Cates has been doing an absolutely phenomenal job. I was going to say that's one of the best ones I can think of. But as far as new writer, gosh, I'm not really aware of who's that new or anything as far as books are concerned. All I could really say is just some of the books that I've been reading lately, and and I don't think Kieran Gillen is a new writer or anything, but he's been doing this series over on Boom Studios called Once and Future. It's kind of about these people who are going out to resurrect King Arthur. And it's like a horror series, but it's been really good. Issue number 1 went through like 6 different printings, I think, already, and it's finally, I think a lot of comic books are finally caught up on getting that series out there. But it's had 2 issues in. It's been a really good series. It's like I said, it's kind of like a modern day horror type of thing where they're trying to resurrect King Arthur, and they may or may have not gotten that done in issue number 2. You'll have to check it out. It's been a really good series. But as far as best new writers, yeah, I'm not really for sure. I'm not really for sure about best new writers, any that I can think of that are new writers out there. But Donny Cates is certainly one of the big up and comers. But I'll let you know more about that if I can, if I can think of one to bring to the forefront. Rosetta says, do you know if any of these smaller labels do more obscure cultures and mythology in the storytelling? Really, you might check out, like I said, Vault Comics is one I've really liked, because like one of the books I was reading was Sarah and the Royal Stars, in which is like it's a more like a medieval fantasy tale, talking about Sarah, who is she is from the Middle East. She's from Persia, and she's going out to kind of there's the royal stars are basically like the star constellations. They've basically been trapped on Earth in human form and don't remember who they are, and they need her help. She's going out to help save them. So the seasons can change, because the seasons haven't been changing, and her people are basically stuck in famine. They've really been suffering as the seasons have been changing, and she's been going out to help set them free, to basically set them free so they can be set free, but then also it will improve the life for her people and the land. So I mean, I think that's one that's been pretty good. Yeah, and she says, "Hey, I'm a mountain girl. I always love watching the tourists freak out when their cell phones don't work." Yeah, definitely, and that's what I've liked about Bad Reception. Rosetta says, I'm pretty much very old school in a lot of my thinking. And that's I think something you definitely may want to check out. Like I said, on Bad Reception, that was a very good one. My daughter lost her mind when Hurricane Irma blew right over us a few years back. No power for over 2 weeks. Oh yeah, that would make any teenager lose it, I think. Aggressively says, Ripa is always tearing down things he is not reading. Oh no, I have no content. Squirrel Girl sucks. Yeah, I haven't read Squirrel Girl. I have in some of the issues, but I think it's just kind of a silly character and everything like that. But hey, man, to each their own. Not everybody's gonna like Young Ripa. Not everybody's gonna like me, and not everybody's gonna like you as well. Different strokes for different folks. I'll certainly say that. But he's one of my favorite content creators, and aggressively relaxing. You're one of my favorite content creators as well. I just absolutely love what you're doing over there on your channel, too. But yeah, like I said, different strokes for different folks. Not everything is for everybody, certainly. And I'm not going to beat you up for your preferences. You know what I mean? Like I said, certainly not everybody is for everybody. 19K Fox, thank you so much for being here. And again, guys, it's already after 9 o'clock. I only planned on this being a really short video, but look, here we are at 9 o'clock already. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel today. Like I said, I am going to got a busy weekend and week coming up over the next week. Got some movies I'm going to be reviewing, going to go out to see. Like I said, I'm going to LA Comic Con this weekend. Monday, I will be going out to watch The Three from Hell. Tuesday, I'm going to go out and watch the Sausage Sisters Rabbit at the Chinese Theater. And then on Thursday, I'm going to go see the Jay and Silent Bob reboot with a double feature of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I am going to be doing hopefully I can get together a live stream on Sunday where we're going to talk about the House of X and Powers of X series and just get a few people to come on. You know, who knows how long that stream will go for. We're just going to geek and nerd out about what's been going on through Jonathan Hickman's new series. And then I'm going to do a live stream when I hit 1 year, and I'll probably end up giving away a copy of Neon Future, this trade paperback, beautiful book. Beautiful book. You can see it's a pretty thick book as well on my 1 year anniversary. So that's all I have for today's video, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't, give it a thumbs down. It's all good. I don't look too much into those things. I'm not too worried about it. I just appreciate all you guys' interaction. And while you're at it, make sure you share this video with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Happy reading. Get out there and support your local comic book shop on New Comic Book Wednesday. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Later. Nerdy Blurb TV, you made it in a little bit late, but what's up, my brother? He says, I'm going to be in Cali this weekend and through the week. Ooh. Ryan, you'll have to get a hold of me, Nerdy Blurb. Get a hold of me, dude. See if we can get together or something. You all have a good day.